I'd like to introduce you now to the final speaker of our first bracket, Bridget Hanna. Bridget has worked in the Victorian public sector for the last 8 years in the museum and creative arts industry. She previously worked at ACME across education, communications, and curatorial, and now works at Museums Victoria, where she manages the digital learning experiences. She produces on-site, online, and virtual digital experiences for all audiences, and over the last 2 years, has been tasked with creating Melbourne Museum's Learning Lab, an innovative digital space that shares immersive digital content and co-creative programs. Bridget's going to share with us today her WOM manifesto, Interconnectivity, Creativity and Collaboration. Thank you, Bridget.
Thanks, Katie. Thanks for the introduction and the opportunity to speak alongside such inspiring women. I'll ask you to reflect on this question today. What are your values and are they embedded in your work? As we're celebrating women in STEM today, rather than share a manifesto, I'm going to share a womanfesto. This womanfesto is an adaptation of the values I wrote for our Learning Lab. In life and work, I'm driven by my values. And I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to embed my values relating to creativity and collaboration into the development, design and experiences of our Learning Lab at Melbourne Museum. To give you a bit of background, our Learning Lab was a holistic redesign of our learning spaces at Melbourne Museum and approach to lifelong learning. Our new Learning Lab hosts innovative workshops as well as a huge 27-metre wide digital canvas that shares immersive projection experiences for audiences of all ages. And the images that I'm sharing on my slides today are from one of these immersive projections, and this one is called River Connections. The Learning Lab manifesto is used as a guide for our audiences to understand the values ingrained in our workshops, as well as a list of principles for our producers to follow when developing programs. Luckily for me, by integrating these values into the core of the Learning Lab, I was able to merge my creative and professional practice. So my intention in sharing the 5 values of our Womanfesto is to encourage you to also feel empowered to reflect on your values and consider how you can womanfest, not manifest, these values into your professional work. So let's get started. Number 1, interconnectedness is transparent when deep listening. Deep listening is a process used by First Peoples that describes deep and respectful listening to build community and connection. When developing our Learning Lab, we worked closely with Museums Victoria's First Peoples team who shared this knowledge. Deep listening involves listening with your ears, but also with your other senses too. It's about being still and quiet to help us see the interconnectedness in all things and expand our sense of being and purpose. Rather than focusing on our differences, we explore our interconnectedness in the world and fearlessly discuss how life's deep mysteries bring us together. Part of deep listening is also about taking what you've learned and acting on it, and in the process, opening the connection between our hands, our heads, and our hearts. Number 2, creativity grows exponentially when collaborative. The most rewarding experiences are shared, co-creative, and meaningful. Our shared experiences allow us to hold stories, hardships, and successes together. We work collaboratively in order to inspire each other to think differently and build our collective knowledge and skills for creative and innovative outcomes. We endeavour to establish a welcoming and encouraging environment where everyone feels motivated and safe to communicate and create. Number 3, the best adventures are those of learning. We never stop reflecting and learning throughout our lives. We understand there are always new ways to look at the world, and we seek out new knowledge and actively develop skills. The journey and process is what drives us. We honour the exploration in experimentation, offering a space for failure. We nurture curiosities and develop literacies for lifelong learning, supporting each other to adapt, change, reflect, and grow on our adventure. Number 4, creative technologies empower innovation. We embrace the magic and logic of digital technologies in transformative, social, and sustainable ways. We use digital technologies to encourage creativity and innovation. They provide a platform to communicate our message in inventive and original ways. Creative technologies are used to design audience experiences that ignite curiosities and imagination in our audiences. They are a tool that support us to envision a bigger and a bolder world. Number 5, we all have a story to share. Storytelling makes us human. It's what defines and binds us to our humanity. Our stories are also what make us all unique. By bringing them to life, we can make personal connections, exchange our cultures, and share our narratives. We showcase and highlight voices that document, comment on, and provide insight into our past, present, and future. This manifesto speaks to our learning lab and the interdisciplinary nature of working in a museum, but it also encapsulates my personal values working in creative digital technologies. So today I'm really interested to know your thoughts. Do these values resonate with your own, and are they embedded in your work? What is your manifesto or womanfesto? Thank you.